Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something super intriguing. What happens when a psychic flesh-type man comes into play? I mean, how wild is that? The combination of psychic abilities and physical presence gives him a unique edge, but it also puts him at odds with several laws that keep our society in check. Let's break down 10 laws that he might just find himself breaking. Ready? Let's jump in. 1. Law of personal autonomy. First off, let's talk about personal autonomy. This law is all about respecting individual choices and free will. But imagine a psychic, flesh-type man who can read minds or influence thoughts. Suddenly, he can override people's decisions without them even knowing it. It's a total invasion of their autonomy. Think about it. How would you feel if someone made choices for you without your consent? It's a slippery slope into ethical chaos. 2. Law of privacy. Next on the list is the law of privacy. We all value our personal space, both physically and mentally, right? But a psychic flesh-type man might just waltz right into your head, knowing all your secrets and deepest thoughts. Yikes. This kind of mind invasion could cause serious trust issues and make people hesitant to open up. Can you imagine how uncomfortable it would be to have someone constantly peering into your innermost thoughts? Not cool. 3. Law of physical harm. Now let's get serious with the law of physical harm. Laws are in place to protect us from being harmed physically, obviously. But what if this psychic guy could persuade someone to do dangerous stuff? Like, he could put ideas in their head that lead to accidents or even intentional harm. The consequences could be pretty dire. It's scary to think that someone could manipulate your actions without you realizing it. 4. Law of trespass. While we're at it, let's tackle the law of trespass. Typically, trespass refers to invading someone's property without permission, but what about invading mental spaces? A psychic flesh-type man could breach someone's mind just like he would a physical boundary. How unsettling is that? Imagine your thoughts being explored without your say-so. It's like someone barging into your house uninvited, but way more personal. 5. Law of coercion. Moving on to the law of coercion. This law is all about duress and forcing someone into acts against their will. With his psychic abilities, our fancy friend could easily apply mental pressure to get people to comply with his wishes. It's like using mind games to get what he wants. This would obviously lead victims to feel trapped and manipulated, which is totally not okay. 6. Law of fraud. Here's another thought. Law of fraud. We all know it's illegal to deceive someone for personal gain. But picture a psychic, flesh-type man using his powers to trick others, maybe convincing them he has magical powers or can predict the future. Not only could he swindle them out of their money, but he could also exploit their vulnerabilities. It's kind of like the ultimate con artist move, right? 7. Law of emotional distress. And speaking of exploitation, let's chat about emotional distress. This law exists to protect people from emotional harm, which is just as important as physical safety. But what if a psychic's manipulative abilities left someone feeling anxious or traumatized? It's not hard to imagine how this could tear apart someone's mental health, making them question reality. Yikes, that's some heavy stuff. 8. Law of harassment. Next, we have the law of harassment. Harassment is all about making someone feel uncomfortable or unsafe, whether it's through words or actions. Picture a psychic flesh-type man using his abilities to invade someone's mental space persistently. Could you imagine the turmoil someone would experience if they felt like they were always being stalked in their mind? That's just downright cruel. 9. Law of duty of care. Let's not forget the law of duty of care. This is all about looking out for one another in relationships, whether personal or professional. But if our psychic guy is abusing his powers, he's neglecting that duty. By manipulating others instead of protecting their well-being, he could unintentionally cause harm to those around him. It's definitely a breach of trust and responsibility. 10. Law of public order. Finally, let's talk about the law of public order. This law is designed to keep our communities safe and civil. But if a psychic flesh-type man is wreaking havoc with his powers, it could lead to chaos in public spaces. Imagine people acting erratically because of his influence. Things could spiral out of control quickly. Maintaining order is essential, and breaking this law would have serious consequences for everyone. So there you have it, folks. We've explored the 10 laws that a psychic flesh-type man could potentially break. It's kind of wild to think about how his extraordinary abilities come with a sprinkle of moral dilemmas, isn't it? As fun as this topic is, it raises some serious questions about ethics and responsibility. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Until next time.